What do you want him to do? What do you want him to say today?
I want him to lower prices and lower the taxes and make Barbies cheaper.
Make Barbies cheaper?
Yeah.
Tell me more about that. Have they gotten expensive?
Yeah, and Polly Pockets. All my favorite toys are so expensive.
Today was a tough day for Donald Trump. For the first time in his second term as president, he had to fire someone big, his national security advisor. On top of that, a federal judge, someone Trump himself had appointed, ruled against him in court. It's one of those moments that could be remembered as a turning point. Remember when President George W. Bush said "heck of a job, Brownie" during Hurricane Katrina? That one line ended up symbolizing a whole administration's failure. Well, Trump may have had his own Brownie moment. This time, it wasn't about a hurricane. It was about toys. Yesterday, Trump made a strange comment during a speech. He warned that because of his tariffs, those taxes on imported goods, kids might only get $2 instead of 30 this Christmas. The line went viral, and today, the internet gave him a new nickname, Donny $2. It might sound funny, but it points to something serious: how little Trump understands about the real impact his policies have on working families. Even the New York Post, a paper owned by Rupert Murdoch and usually friendly to Trump, mocked him on the front page. The headline read, "Skimp on the Barbie." When Trump starts losing his usual supporters, you know something's gone wrong. As Trump tried to change the story, he fired National Security Advisor Mike Wallace. Wallace had only been in the job for 101 days. That's a lot longer than Trump's first national security advisor, Michael Flynn, who lasted just 22 days before being fired and later convicted of a felony, though Trump eventually pardoned him. So what happened with Mike Wallace? He made a serious mistake. He created a group chat, including some of the most important people in the U.S. government, the CIA director, the secretaries of state and defense, and, strangely, the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic, Jeffrey Goldberg. Yes, he added a journalist to a group chat where sensitive national security information was being discussed. It wasn't on a secure channel. It wasn't encrypted. It wasn't protected in any way. It was just a regular chat, like something you'd use to plan a family dinner. And it was Wallace's phone that added Goldberg to the group. That means Wallace accidentally leaked details about U.S. military operations, including the timing of airstrikes. This is the kind of mistake that, in any responsible government, would lead to immediate firing and probably a full investigation. But instead of being held accountable, Trump plans to nominate Wallace as the next U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. That job requires Senate approval, which means Wallace will have to explain this mess under oath, in front of the whole country. Trump's first choice for the job, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, had to back out because Republican leaders were afraid of losing her seat in the House. So Wallace became Plan B. His excuse? He says the information he shared wasn't classified. But that doesn't mean it wasn't dangerous to share. It's a weak excuse, and one only someone deep in Trump's political world could think would work. Now, Republican senators will have to decide whether to support Wallace's nomination. And in doing so, they'll also be defending the mistakes of others who were in that chat: the CIA director, the defense secretary, the secretary of state, and more. For Democrats, this is a chance to show how careless and reckless the Trump administration has become. Because let's face it, everyone knows you don't talk about military secrets in a group chat. Even teenagers know that. It's not complicated. And voters will understand what this says about the people running the country. Of course, Trump's other policies continue, like mass deportations and harsh immigration crackdowns. But today, what we saw was something different: an administration that looks confused, out of touch, and falling apart. The nickname Donny $2 may stick around longer than Trump wants. His comment about children having fewer toys at Christmas shows just how disconnected he is from ordinary American families. And here's the thing: Trump's supporters at his rallies often feel like victims. They say they've been mistreated, and Trump encourages that feeling. He says he's being treated unfairly, and they believe him. But here's something to remember: 99% of people who vote for Trump never even go to those rallies. The people at his events are a loud, small group, but they don't represent the whole. What's clear is that Trump enjoys being cruel. It's not just an act, it's who he is. He uses threats to control people, even those in his own party. And sometimes, his cruelty isn't just political, it's deeply personal. Take, for example, his decision to cut off food aid to starving children in Africa during a famine. That aid program had been around for decades. It didn't cost much, and it helped feed people in crisis, people who had no other way to survive. American farmers were even paid to send the extra food they grew. But Trump ended the program, not to save money, but just because he didn't care. Even President George W. Bush, who made plenty of mistakes, cared about humanitarian work. He helped lead the fight against AIDS in Africa. He believed in doing good. Trump, on the other hand, shows no empathy. No kindness. He might go to a national day of prayer, but his actions don't reflect any real belief in compassion or community. Trump's out-of-touch comment about kids only getting $2 instead of 30 is just one example. He clearly doesn't understand that most American families are struggling. He thinks having $30 is normal. Meanwhile, many parents are doing everything they can just to afford one. Two girls, Stella and Maeve, went viral last year after attending a Trump rally in Michigan. When a reporter asked what they wanted from the president, their answer was simple: make Barbies cheaper. That's it. These kids didn't ask for tax cuts or trade deals. They just wanted their toys to be affordable again. That's how deeply Trump's tariffs have affected people. The numbers back this up. A survey by the Toy Association found that 64% of small toy companies and 80% of medium-sized ones have canceled their orders because of Trump's tariffs. Half of them said they might go out of business soon if things don't change. Take Jennifer Bergman, for example. She owns a small toy store in New York called West Side Kids. She's already seeing fewer customers. Her suppliers are canceling shipments. Prices are going up. She's even started talking to a bankruptcy lawyer. And toys aren't the only problem. America's biggest export is the Boeing airplane. Trump's trade war has put that at risk too. Orders are down. Jobs are in danger. Even General Motors says its profits could drop by 25% because of the tariffs. That's not just bad news, it's a crisis. And while economists can break it all down with graphs and data, sometimes it's a child who says it best: make Barbies cheaper. A Barbie that cost $20 last year could now cost $50. That's a 145% price hike. And Trump says it's just a couple bucks more. He doesn't get it. But kids do. Last night, Vice President Kamala Harris said something powerful: courage is contagious. She was talking about the millions of Americans, Democrats, independents, and even some Republicans who are standing up and saying, enough. They see the damage these tariffs are causing. Prices are rising. Retirement accounts are shrinking. Businesses are laying off workers. Investment has frozen. The evidence is everywhere. And it's clearer now than ever: Donald Trump's economic ideas don't work. His decisions are based on anger, not logic. On cruelty, not care. And it might just be the youngest voices among us, the children asking for affordable toys, who help the rest of the country finally see that truth. Thank you for watching.